welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. Around 6 months, I think. So please excuse the weird lighting. The pajamas you've probably already seen. It's midnight, so you might not hear me because I have to speak low and my parents are asleep. Okay, today we're going to be chatting about my top 5 authors that I've read. Let me frame that again. My most read authors. I think I'm gonna list off 5 of them. There's more than 5 in my notebook, but so we're just gonna wing it. Okay. Just to warn y'all. Expect the unexpected. This is a weird list. So, coming in at number 1, and a whopping 64 books. 59 confirmed, 64 probably, I just have a bad memory, is Caroline Keene in this specific edition of the Nancy Drew series. So if you know about the whole Caroline Keene debacle, you know that she wrote books in I don't know when, I think the 1910s or earlier or something like that. And someone decided to do a revamp of her entire series, edit out all the racism, and republish them all. And I think this set is the one they started out with. There's a couple others. There's a couple of publishing houses switched around, copyright issues, yada yada. I'll leave the Wikipedia link that I skimmed down below. You can do your additional research if you want. I've confirmed, according to this book, read 59 of her books, but based on my shoddy memory, I recall hearing about the titles of 60 through 64. So I either read all 64 or I've read 59, and I think I've read all 64. I'm just literally not going to read this entire list of books. Here you can see, and I will post a screenshot somewhere here if you really want to know exactly what I've read. I was a real mystery nut back then. Coming in at number 2 is Enid Blyton. You Americans have no fucking clue who that is unless you're very well read. Enid Blyton is a British children's mystery / fantasy author, sold exclusively in the UK and territories. We'll just ignore the blatant colonialism of that and I enjoyed her books, so we'll let little Sonia live. Yeah, so I've read a whopping 53 of her books. Again, literally not going to mention every single one because there's a high chance that I haven't read every single one that I've listed on Goodreads. I know I've read the Secret 7 series, the Famous 5 series, and the 5 Find Outers. These 3 series are about a group of kids, 7, 5, and 5 respectively, in their own small little towns, somewhere in the UK probably, and they solve local mysteries, robberies, dogs getting kidnapped, mail getting stolen, arson, a couple of giant jewelry thefts and whatnot. I don't know, it's very UK, British white suburbia. How they did it? I don't know, they were literally between the ages of 9 and 15. Not possible, but it was hella entertaining, so I read them all. I also read the Twins at St. Clair series, which was 6 books, I think, and the Mallory Towers, which was 6 books. Those are boarding school stories of twins and then a pair of sisters that, go to boarding school, and it was just a hoot and a half. I really liked those. There was also a series about, the enchanted chair. It's a chair that had wings on it. And these 2 kids would fly off into the nether and have their adventures in Fantasyland. Read a couple of those, and then there was also Naughty Amelia Jane. I think I read 2 or 3 of those. Toss in a couple of short story compilations by her, and you have somewhere in the region of 53 to 60 books by Enid Blyton. What would have been number 3, except for it turns out they're not all written by the same author, would have been The New Adventures of Mary-Kate and Ashley. These were, yes, that's right, about the Olsen twins who went around solving mysteries related to things that they were doing. They were fun. They had little postcards inside the books that, would tell you how to be a spy and whatnot, and I just really enjoyed them. In essence, I was a huge mystery nerd when I was a kid. Actual number 3 is Lizzie Harrison, and I read 26 of her books, the entirety of the Click series, and all of the Alpha series. Yeah, I read those books. That was like literally my middle school phase of trying very hard to fit in. Not the most feminist books, but they were really fun. So I read them all. Again, not gonna list off all of her books. 26 is too goddamn. Number 4 on my list is Uncle Rick at 18 books. So, again, will not list all of the books. I've read all of his Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Heroes of Olympus. I read the first 2 of the Magnus Chase books, and the 2 books that are out in Trials of Apollo. I think I've read Demigod Files. I've read the 2 crossovers with Annabeth and one of the kids from Kane Chronicles, and Percy and one of the kids from Kane Chronicles. And then I've read one book, one of the several books that Rick Riordan wrote in the 39 Clues series. So that, I think, is exactly 18. Did not know he wrote those books. High-key want to go back and read all of the 39 Clues books now. We'll see if I have time. Coming in at number 5 is actually Cassandra Clare. I had to re-film this because I had to recalculate. I realized I hadn't counted the Magisterium series. So for Cassandra Clare, I've read the 4 books that are out, I think, in the Magisterium series. I've read the Shadowhunters, the original 6 books, I've read the Mortal Instruments, all 6 of them, the Infernal Devices, the 2 books, Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows I've read the Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy. Yeah, I think that vaguely puts me at, like, how many? 17 or something? Those are my top 5 most read authors. A couple of honorable mentions. Lemony Snicket comes in at 13, who I binge read on audiobook somewhere in the time span of, like, August and September. And then I've read 10 of Sarah J. Maas's books. The 10 books that she has out, literally. I can't say I hate reading them, because I don't actually hate them. It's just, you got problems, Sarah, and you gotta fix them. Like, one book with all POC really doesn't do it. Yeah, I think I've rambled for really long. This is definitely not gonna have a lot of edits, because I am tired as shit, and I've made a lot of weird faces. Okay, bye.